Welcome to the television talk show Issues. Here on today's show, we're going to be dealing with some mental health moments, and we're also going to be dealing with the psychology part of it and people actually dealing with the day-to-day operations of dealing with people with mental health. Also, we last had on the show, we dealt with cancer awareness, and it was a it was a very educational show, informative show, and if you hadn't seen it, always go back on YouTube, check it out on Issues Television Talk Show, Season 11, Episode 16, to check out the Cancer Awareness Show, where we really showed a lot of things about what it might cost to lose a loved one financially, spiritually, and the day-to-day life obstacles that you deal with if you survive or you don't survive. I'm your executive producer and host, Rick Mason. Welcome to the show. Today we have on the show two of my close family members, church members, should I say, my pastor, Reverend Rayfield Evins. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And Dr. Smith. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
Welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys on the show today.
Glad to be here.
And being that the show is dealing with mental health, I'm always looking for reasons to talk about different issues, not necessarily bad issues, but we look at it a matter that needs to be focused on. Dr. Smith, being that you dealt with different things to this nature as far as dealing with mental health, give us a little background about yourself and what you do.
What I do? Well, right now I'm just doing a lot of volunteer work, but the mental health part is a major part of my life because 20-some years ago I was diagnosed with mental illness, and it was a combination, a group of major depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, anxiety attack. It was a combination. And of course, my diagnosis was it was so hopeless at the time that I spent many days and many months in a mental institution. And I was told by my psychiatrists and counselors and psychotherapists and to my family also that it would probably be best for me to remain there because my condition was so dire. They didn't see why I could live outside of the mental institution and would take care of myself. But by the grace of God and through education and through being led by the Holy Spirit, I'm here today to talk about it because it is a very dangerous disease. And it's overlooked because we go to the doctor for many things. We don't understand that our mental capacity to function is very important. We don't understand that mental health is only as good as your mental illness because no matter how good I felt every day, I still could not function. I still could not put my shoes on. I could not dress myself. So we need both in order to live, and I thank God for that that experience that I went through.
Okay, and that's emotional, what you just explained, and I can hear it in your voice just pondering back and thinking about what you went through into where you are today. What are some of the basic signs of mental health and mental illness? Meaning, what are some of the differences in that?
Well, everybody have mental health. I think everybody, I know everyone God created has mental health. You're going to have some good days and bad days. Mental illness is different. Mental illness, when you can't function, God gives you a good mind, He gives you health and strength, but your functionability is limited. You are impaired. Your thinking ability is impaired. Your functioning ability is impaired. Your working ability is impaired. Everything about your reality is impaired. So for me, your cognitive disability, your cognitive ability to think mine was completely impaired. So which means you couldn't make sound decisions. You couldn't function in society except on medication. On medication, you're knocked up and sleep. I still wouldn't function. So it is important to me, and it's passionate because it's dangerous. If you don't catch it in time, if you don't do something about it, if you don't recognize it for being as dangerous as it is and important as it is, I think that's why so many things are happening. We overlook it. We don't think about it. I had many warning signs. I know now because I know the warning signs. But being young at the time, I ignored them. And plus, I thought I could handle it myself, to be honest with you about it. I look back at that. But mental illness doesn't play around with. We go to the doctor for many things. It's nothing. It's very serious, and it's like any disease, and it need to be viewed as any other disease. Anything the doctor diagnoses you with, you need to realize this is a diagnosis that needs to be sought out. You need help. Sure.
Right. One final question before we go into the break. What do you think some of the greatest mental health problems are affecting our community today? In which kind of way you think?
I think we've been infected in many ways, and because we don't have then we're not getting the treatment we need in mental health.
Funds.
Funds. The stigma and the discrimination. My reason for didn't get help when I first probably felt the sign was how I knew my family felt about mental illness at that particular time. You don't go to a doctor for mental illness. You go for other things. So the stigma, discrimination, that's bad. I have felt it ever since I came out. It's like coming out of the closet. I have not been treated the same since I made this public, even within my own family. That's the key thing. When people go to the doctor for this, even if the doctor tells them they need help, their primary doctor, they don't want to be sent to a psychiatrist. Wow. So the stigma is so, everybody around you change around you. And that drives you back into isolation. It drives you into things you can handle on your own. But to me, that's the biggest failure, not understanding that this is a disease like any other disease, and we must get help for it regardless of how anybody feel about it.
We'll be right back in just a moment after the television commercial breaks here on Issues Television Talk Show. Once again, if you got an issue, email us at issuestalkshow@gmail.com or either give us a call at 662-386-6064 if you got an issue. When we return back, we're going to be talking to Rayfield Evins to talk about his experience because he worked with the community counseling and he might be able to give us some insights on some of the things he has experienced by working day to day with type of issues like this. It's a television talk show, Issues.
Hey Rick, what's a good place for me to send my lady to get her hair done, nails done, and pick out an outfit? Man, just tell me, what's the place? Where can she go?
I'm glad you asked, D-South. The Perfect Pair, located 1016 Gardner Boulevard in Columbus, or either give them a call at 662-798-9700. Ask for Latoya Gavin, and they have it going on at The Perfect Pair. Braids, shoes, sunglasses, jewelry, lashes, clutches. They got whatever you want. Also, all your decor needs. Stop by and schedule an appointment with Tanika. Grand opening coming soon. It's all about The Perfect Pair. Order shoes for weddings and special occasions. Operation hours, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. until 8 p.m. And Saturdays from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. Get by there today or give them a call. 662-798-9700. Like them on Facebook. So for that perfect occasion, it's only one place to shop. That's The Perfect Pair. 1016 Gardner Boulevard in Columbus. Your accessories and shoe store.
Issues. Be sure to check out Issues Television Talk Show every week, Saturday mornings at 6:30 a.m. on the CW and Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on My Mississippi, hosted by Rick Don't Go Mason. Issues Television Talk Show. Issues.
Spirits. Great prices with a large selection. Spirits Package Store, located 1402-1 Main Street in Columbus. Go by and see Charlie and let him brighten your day or your night with some of the best tasting wine and liquors here at Spirits Package Store. Anything from vodka to gin, Hennessy, Ciroc, 1738 Blue Top, Burnett they call it, located next door to King's Court Store, 1402-1 Main Street. For some of the finest wine and some of the greatest tasting liquor, go by see Charlie today at Spirits Package Store. And remember, don't drink and drive. And go by and see him today for some of the greatest deals in town. It's Spirits Package Store, 1402-1 Main Street in Columbus.
Issue.
Welcome back to the television talk show Issues, sitting here with Dr. Smith and Pastor Rayfield Evins, and we're dealing with mental health issues. And again, it's a serious matter, being that we're talking to an individual who's actually been through it and has overcome the obstacles of what she was facing with mental health. Pastor, talk to us, Rayfield Evins. Give us a little bit about you and what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. In addition to pastoring, I also supervise a local mental health center for community counseling services. I've been in the field for 27 years, and now I just supervise the day-to-day functioning from therapists, community support specialists, psychiatrists, and also the nurses who are on staff.
Okay, so you are playing a role of that nature. What are some of the biggest issues that you have faced? Not necessarily being in the position that you're in, but just working in that environment or working around it.
Probably, as Dr. Smith has said, the stigma. The stigma has not gone away. There's still room for a lot of improvement with our understanding of what it means to have a mental illness. We all have a mind. It either functions well or we have difficulty. The issues are normally when it interrupts our day-to-day functioning, in our family life, in our professional life, and just in our ability to take care of ourselves.
Okay. And with you saying, how often do you have employees come to you maybe to say, hey, I have a major issue with a patient, and I've explored all the options to try to keep myself safe and keep them safe. So I understand that some of the people that work in the facilities, they can't hit the people back if they hit them something to that nature.
Yes, I mean,
How do you?
It is treatment, and there are times in which a person experiences psychosis, in which there's a disconnect from reality. They are not necessarily violent, although they may act out sometimes physically.
But they're trained to know how to handle those people when they react, maybe?
Well, we know the next step of treatment, and that's what's needed.
And what does it actually take to keep them stable or make them, what are the next steps do you take when there's a situation?
When a person is not responding positively to outpatient treatment, residential treatment is the thing that we recommend. Community Counseling Services has a stabilization unit located in West Point. That stabilization unit you can go to on a volunteer basis.
Okay.
You don't have to be court ordered. A family member can bring you by our office, and we help with the process of getting you there. And the point there is stabilization, getting the medication that's needed in your system that reconnects you to reality.
Okay, all right. That's something to deal with. In the finances, I understand you hear a lot in the media and in the world today, there's not enough finances to actually support the cause of mental health illness. They won't even fund it, give enough, they'll fund it, but not enough to actually take care of everybody who's dealing with issues.
But one of the things that we have to tell people over and over again, when it comes to the Department of Mental Health, we're not the Department of Mental Health.
Correct.
We're a private, nonprofit entity that works in conjunction with the Department of Mental Health.
Okay.
Very little money comes to our offices from the Department of Mental Health.
Okay, in other words, what I'm insinuating here is that you hear the conversations a lot about not enough funding for mental health. So that doesn't support what you guys do to a certain extent?
To a certain extent, because that those funds are not generated to the community mental health centers.
Got you. Okay.
That pretty much remains in Jackson.
Okay. All right. Pastor, that's something good to know. That's knowledgeable. Something that's good informative information, what you just gave on that behalf. Someone dealing with mental health, when they first get the sign, what do you suggest them to do?
Just come by the local office. We're located in 7 counties. All you have to do is just call or come by, and we can help you start on the process, which is very simple. We do have some grant funding that covers the initial cost, so it takes that off of the family, and we are just here to help.
Okay, beautiful thing. Doctor, back with you. The challenging moments that you had and you overcome your situation, you were saying that sometimes your family turned their back on you to a certain extent, or don't understand what you're dealing with and look and frown a different way when you're dealing with mental health?
I think it's lack of understanding.
Understanding.
Lack of understanding, lack of empathy, and lack of compassion. We don't understand mental illness, and we can't explain it. We can't put it into words. How can a person sit in a class and be a 4.0 student and can't cook and can't tie their own shoes, or can't dress themselves?
Those are some examples.
Yeah, so it's hard to explain mental illness. So I think for my family, I can't speak well for research back, it's also lack of understanding. And then it's a stigma that goes back for the biblical days. It's just how people view mental illness.
Do you mind me asking what age was it when you actually experienced your mental health challenges?
About 44, 45.
44, 45?
Yes.
Okay, 44, 45. So with that being said, now where you are today, you followed up and got degrees after degrees after degrees after all of that, correct?
I did, by the grace of God.
By the grace of God.
Yes.
And also a book,
5
several books.
Yes.
What do you have with you today?
I have the first one is The Power of Experience of God. Keep your eyes on Jesus Christ and experience the supernatural power of God. I wrote this book because I had just I just finished my degrees. And it was so hard, and God kept saying write books. And I knew I had problems spelling and writing and reading, so he just let me know that I hadn't did anything on my own anyway. So I wanted people to understand my healing was the supernatural power of God that I got through. It's hard to explain it, but that's why I said, as long as you keep your eyes on Jesus, there's healing in Jesus.
Yes,
He changed every life.
Praise God.
And that's what this was about. But even when I finished this book, I was still struggling. I didn't know in my condition, did I have anything God could use? What could I do with my life? So this is why I wrote this book. What do you have God could use? He used everything you got. And that's what I like this book. And in this book I wrote because although my psychiatrist and my psychotherapist all thought it was over, I realized about how old you are, what you're going through, is not over till God says over.
Man, he's got the last word.
Yes, and he had the last word.
Man, that sized it up as a whole. And how was it? How hard was it to even write the first book, not to say the second and the third one?
If I had been doing it myself, it'd be very hard. But I just followed God's instruction. He gave me instruction page by page what to put in and how to write it, how to do the copyrights. It's just like he walked me through school.
Right.
He does speak to you. He does talk to you. And so I listened to what he was telling me. He taught me how to write the books.
Man.
He did. And everything in these books, I'll be honest about it, I take no credit. These books were written by the blood of Jesus Christ. He just pointed me in the direction. They would just follow suit. Follow the instructions. So.
We'll be right back in just a moment to wrap things up here for the television talk show Issues. Once again, if you got an issue, email us at issuestalkshow@gmail.com or either give us a call, 662-386-6064 if you got an issue. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. It's the television talk show Issues.
Take me to the border. Mi Hacienda Mexican Restaurant has all your favorite Mexican food. It's a great place for the entire family. Daily specials. Monday night, fajita night. Tuesday night, combination night. Wednesday night, seniors and kids night. Thursday night, drinks. Drink specials. Margaritas, 2 for 1. Jumbo margaritas. Monster margaritas. Pictures of margaritas. Mexican beer and domestic beer. Friday and Saturday, we always have it whatever you like. All specials are from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. Come eat, drink, and have fun with a clean atmosphere. Go by and see Felipe or Rudy at either location. 911 Mississippi Highway 12, Starkville, Mississippi, or 1207 Highway 45 in Columbus. In the Spillers Furniture Plaza, or give them a call in Starkville at 662-320-2233 or in Columbus 662-327-3396. Happy hour, appetizers. They've got it all. Come celebrate your birthday party, your anniversary, whatever the occasion may be. We want to put the hat on you. It's all about Mi Hacienda.
Issue. Direct Foods on Alabama Street in Columbus is the place to find great bargains and value on restaurant quality groceries for your personal kitchen or organization. Direct Foods stock ready to heat and eat items like casseroles, chicken dressing, macaroni and cheese, or chicken and dumplings. Plus, chicken strips and pizza for the kids. No time to cook? No problem. Direct Foods has you covered. From cooked or ready to cooked buffalo wings, fresh flash frozen vegetables by the bag, frozen fish, and burgers or biscuits. Folks, this is restaurant quality foods, and if you need to cook for a living, a family, or a holiday get-together, Direct Foods can help with a great selection of bulk seasonings, cooking oil, containers, and aluminum roasting pans for the occasion. From sugary bakery cakes from Amory, Mississippi to St. Clair's casseroles. You can cross it off your list for less at Direct Foods, 606 Alabama Street, Columbus. That's Direct Foods, 606 Alabama Street, Columbus.
2-in-1 connection, 2-in-1 connection, 2-in-1 connection. Check them out in the Gateway Plaza Shopping Center with all your great deals and savings for all your hair needs, school uniforms, and so much more. Eyelashes, phones, phone cases, and they repair phones as well, iPads, and so many more. Check them out at the Gateway Plaza Shopping Center. Go by, see Mo and the girls at 2-in-1 Connection. Give them a call today, right now today, at 2-in-1 Connection, located in the Gateway Plaza Shopping Center at Columbus. Come see us today and get everything that you need. One-stop shop at 2-in-1 Connection at Columbus.
Come see us at 2-in-1 Connection, the place to be.
And again, it all falls back with God, spirituality, mental health itself. So as you were saying, God, spirituality, should I say, it all plays hand in hand. That was your guidance with your book writing as well.
That's true. And also, research is pointing in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
More and more research is coming out, and people are actually testifying to the fact that it is their religion and spirituality that lead and guide them toward their therapy, their treatments, and it's beginning to be a proven fact that it is coping skills, stress related. It's helpful. And when I did my dissertation, I was led by the Holy Spirit to go that route because God showed me what He could do with religion and spirituality for my health, and I couldn't have been on a person.
Right.
So I wanted to interview other women. I did women who had gone through and they weren't ashamed to talk about it. And although they had gotten treatments, and thank God for that, because I do push treatment to everyone, they went in letting the people know that they believed in God. And their beliefs is what they believe is going to, if God was going to, if there's going to be healed, because God wanted them healed, when He went in with the hope of healing. So Jesus gives you hope. Jesus gives you understanding of your situation and the situation you're around. So I think that's why I got more data and more people are speaking out about that. And when you have the facts behind it, when you have the facts backing it up, then I think counselors and doctors and psychologists and mental health professionals are leading more towards that. And that's why I recommend when people ask me to find a spiritual psychiatrist, someone who believes in God, because if they believe in God, they're going to push you in a more positive direction. I had a psychiatrist told me he didn't even see where I was going to school. That was very negative, and I was just really hurt about that.
Have you called him back and told him, "Look at me now"?
He's seen me.
Look at and tell him.
He's seen me since then many times.
Right, he's probably looking at you now.
But they're not God, and so I think it's why I want people to turn into this, because it's a proven fact. If you want a different life, if you want your life to be changed, grab hold of Jesus Christ, grab hold of their life, and don't let go. And just like the woman with the issue of blood, that's what she grabbed the hem of His garment. There is everything we need is in Jesus, and so that is coming forward, I think. And so I just know from my own experience, I can't talk about it enough to say, whenever we go in for treatment, let it be someone who also believes in Jesus Christ, because that's the head start of your treatment process right there. They believe and you believe, and so that belief and that faith together pushes you in a very positive direction. I'm healed because of that. I'm healed because Jesus healed me, and I'm not ashamed of that. So.
And do you ever find yourself thinking that you might be slipping or going back? Do you have to do follow-ups, or how do you cope?
I do. I use one of the treatments, and one of my treatments was self-talk. Self-talk is one of my therapies. One of my treatments I had were the tools. Self-talk helps me through because I speak back the Bible to myself. I give myself positive message. I can do all things in Christ to be better. See this in me. I self-talk all during the day. I evaluate my behavior. I evaluate my moods. God sent me to that class, and it's a talk class. It's a class to help you monitor yourself. But instead of using it as the class was designed for, I took the words of the Bible and I reversed it and I changed it to my life. So each story in the Bible, I put myself in that story and talk myself through it as I was Moses, or if I was Abraham and Sarah. Old age, I'm in class. I'm older than the professor of the wall. So I use those stories and I talk myself through them all the way through. And it was called the tool of self-talk. The tool of self-evaluation. The tool of self-monitor your health and your condition. If I messed up that day, if I got lost, which I did many days, how do I want to do for the next day? I found a verse, I found a story to back up that, led me to that, and I self-talk myself through that.
Imagine that, man. And hats off to your husband, Kent Smith, brother Kent Smith, a strong, smooth individual that, he's always the same. And you have to have a strong mate to actually deal with you when you're dealing with these type issues.
Exactly.
So hats off to him for being there for you,
Patient
standing
and
there.
love.
And yes,
it takes that.
Man, it takes that.
I think he would have sent me back to the water brook. It takes that.
Right, man. And again, man, this is what Issues Television Show is about. Again, we like the news, but we inform you. We give you enough time to really spearhead about what you're dealing with and what you want to talk about. We're here to inform you on the television talk show Issues. Again, we're on in 4 states: Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and Arkansas. Email us issuestalkshow@gmail.com, or either give us a call 662-386-6064 if you got an issue. Once again, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors who are a part of Issues Television Talk Show. If you'd like to be a sponsor, we just gave you the information. We'd love to have you on board to show and see what you got going on as well. Again, Pastor Rayfield Evins, I thank you so much for your time. Dr. Smith, thank you for your time. And again, join us at Southside Missionary Baptist Church, 100 Nashville Ferry Road East, where the great Rayfield Evins is our pastor. Amen. Worship service, 10 a.m., and Sunday school is at 8:30 a.m. each and every Saturday morning. Wednesday night Bible study, 7 p.m. right here in the friendly city of Columbus. Again, I'm your host and the executive producer for the television talk show. Can you look in that camera and say Issues?
Issues.
We'll check you out next time, same place. CW 6:30 a.m. Set your DVRs, or check us out Sunday nights, My Mississippi, on cable, 10 p.m. each and every Sunday night. We'll see you next time. Same place, right here for the television talk show, Issues.
Issues. Issues. Issues. Issues. Issues. Be sure to check out Issues Television Talk Show every week, Saturday mornings at 6:30 a.m. on the CW and Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on My Mississippi, hosted by Rick Don't Go Mason. Issues Television Talk Show. Issues. 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 Issues.